Welcome back to Roam Real Eat. It's Josh. It's New Year's Day, and they always say out with the old, in with the new. So if we're going to go in with the new, we need to go out with the old. So today's January 1st, 2026. Happy New Year. But what I want to do today is go through my favorite releases of 2025. And I'll count them down in reverse order. There's 6 bottles that made the list. There's more 2025 releases, but these 6 stood out head and shoulders above the rest. The number 6 bottle first, and that is Maker's Mark Lost Recipe. This is edition 2, 2025 release. This was an outstanding bottle, has a lot of mocha notes to it, and to me, with the cherries from an old fashioned, makes an outstanding old fashioned with the mocha notes. So number 6 in 2025 is the Maker's Mark Lost Recipe edition 2. Cheers. That is delicious. That is a great bourbon for any year, but 2025 was an outstanding year for the whiskey market. Okay, so next on the list, this is number 5 in 2025, and I'm happy because the price on this is very reasonable, and so I hope it's going to be around. I hope it's going to be a staple to this brand for time to come. You can get it at Costco for $59.99, and you'll find it in a museum for, $180, $200, but it's not worth that. So, without further ado, number 5 for 2025 is the Jack Daniel's Heritage Edition. This is head and shoulders above almost all other Jack Daniel's products. I think it's better than the Sinatra Select myself, but when they did the toasting, this is basically a 100 proof version of the Jack Daniel's Small Batch Select, but it's toasted finish, and this is outstanding. So number 5 on the list, Jack Daniel's Heritage Edition. Cheers. That is delicious. That is wonderful. Okay, so the next one on the list was great. I think highly of it. It surprised me on what I thought of it this year. But the next one is the Shenk's Homestead Reserve. So Shenk's Homestead Reserve 2025 edition is great, and if you have a chance, if you find one on the shelf anywhere close to MSRP, gobble it up. This is outstanding. So this is number 4 on the 2025 release. Cheers. Wow. All right, so that's number 4. Now, number 3. Number 3 is the Russel's 13, and this is the spring 2025 release. I reviewed it yesterday, and this is an outstanding pour. Great value, a third of the price of the Russell's 15, and even more flavorful, in my opinion. Cheers. All right. Number 2 in the 2025 whiskey world is the Penelope Havana, the Rumba Reserve. So the first Penelope Havana was released in December 2024. It was a lower proof, And then they came out this year with the Rumba Reserve, and it is even better than the 2024 version. So if you have a chance to buy any of these at the store, go ahead and do so. But this one is one that if you see them on the shelf, you're getting into the territory of you buy all the ones you can afford to buy. So this is one that, had I gone back in time, I called a buddy when I got this who was also searching for it. And I told him, I said, hey, I found it here. And he said, all right, go ahead and get me 2. So I went in, I bought 3, 1 for me, 2 for him. I wish I would have bought 2. If I had a Back to the Future time machine, there would be more than 1 bottle of this. And I hope that Penelope releases another release in 2026 that I can gobble up a couple bottles from. Penelope, Rumba Reserve, 2025 release, number 2 on the list of 2025 whiskeys. Wow. That is my clear favorite bottle of 2025 that I own. So, best whiskeys of 2025, number 6, number 5, number 4, number 3, number 2. I don't have number 1 to sample again as we speak, but I did taste it. I got a free pour at a bourbon event, and it was outstanding. And that is none other than the Jack Daniel's Tanyard Hill Rye. If you ever get the chance to pick up a bottle of the Jack Daniel's Tanyard Hill Rye, do so. I know a couple places that have it on the shelf. However, they want, 5 or 6 times what MSRP is, and I refuse to pay the bourbon terrorists any type of ransom. That's what I call liquor stores who get outstanding bottles and try to sell them for 4 or 5 times what the MSRP is. I understand you're in the business of making money, and I understand that you are trying to remain profitable, and I understand that you're trying to price your product based on demand. However, I also think you're supposed to service your customer base. And when you price bottles out of your customer base or outside of even the realm of common sense, that you are becoming what I call a bourbon terrorist. So, for companies like that who will remain nameless for now, sharp stick in the eye to you. But hands down, far and away, the other 5 that I've mentioned today are all outstanding. They're all great. All 5 of them are awesome pours. And from number 2 to number 6, if I saw them again in the store, I would get multiple of them. So, any of these 6, these 5 in front of me, including number 1, if I found it in the store, I would make sure I had more than 1 bottle. So the bad part is that I'm afraid most of these are going to be not available in 2025 unless the store that you find it at purchased it this year. So now some of them will come out with a 2026 release, which I expect for the Russell's 13 will probably have a 2026 release. The Shenk's Homestead will probably have a 2026 release. I think the Jack Daniel's Heritage Edition is here to stay. And I think the Maker's Mark will release a Lost Recipe Edition 3 2026. Hoping that's the case and we can sample some more bourbons in 2026. But these right here are the top 6 whiskeys of 2025. So, like, subscribe, leave a comment, share, drink responsibly. And until next year, cheers.